so now we're going to completely switch from trying to like work in. That's like a little bit of like step one of like working takedown. We're going to keep doing some of that, a little bit of that every day, work a little bit of takedowns. But today we're gonna get into the guard pull and stuff. So in no-gi, like I started to say earlier, you gotta pull different than like the normal way that people pull in the gi here. So the two ways that I'm cool with that I like is 2-on-1, either wrist or wrist and elbow, and then you just sit straight down here and lean forward. Like so, it's like we did some butterfly guard last week. It's the same thing. I'm basically sitting, pulling to a butterfly guard. So I want my butt back and my head forward. So this one's kind of harder. If you're like, females tend to be pretty good at this one because they're pretty like flexible. If you can just sit down with no problem leaning forward, sit straight down, not laying back to your back like this, but straight down with your head leaning forward, then if that's easy for you, this is a really good one for you, probably the better one. But I have trouble with that one, especially if I'm not like super warmed up. So I pull in no-gi now, I like to pull more like the same way that I pull in the gi, which is also different from the last time I've been teaching it, at least in adult class here. So it can start off, you can start off like you're just in here wrestling a little bit, whatever, regular stuff here. And then you can go to like 2-on-1 here. I just don't want him to get away while I'm going to pull. And then so from here, I'm leaning forward again, so my head is more close to him than my hips are, leaning forward like this, and I want to pull his hand down a little bit. And then I'm just going to go to my hand here, but leaning forward still. So this way, if he does try to drive into me, this kind of holds him back, and I'm strong here. If the more up I get with my head or even backwards, the weaker I get. So if I'm leaning into him, I'm still strong here. And if I do feel like, oh, he is starting to bully me and push me over, like it's really easy to just stand right back up. So I go here, and then I just sit to my hips here. Still same thing, my head has to be leaning forward, and then here. And then as you get better, if I'm here and he just like tries to do like a jumping something, just jumping past my guard or something like that, your instinct will become to just like lay back and throw your shins up basically. So even if you go straight over, you're gonna have something in between you and him. It's not like a free guard pass there. I would say though, at the adult, if you're gonna be like competitive, so I guess it's not as bad in no-gi, kind of can be, but it's more scary in the gi. But when you're reaching out like that here and sitting down, there is like chance of like a jumping, like flying triangle type stuff. But so we're in here, just here. No, I'm never in a rush here. When you feel like you're in a rush, that's when you make mistakes here. 2-on-1 here. I'm just gonna lean into him here. Boom. Get to my hip, leaning forward here. And then I could just come here. And I can let go at this point. I already legally pulled guard and everything if that's what I'm looking for here. Or you can keep this and just start going right into like entanglements to get to where you want to be. Any questions? So for the newer people, like if you want to play the bottom, that's called playing guard, and there's like a right way to go straight to the guard if you want to do it. That's what we're working on today. All right, grab partners. Ready?